It's a decision. I'm just going to make the decision. I want Kody to stay away from my home until we can figure out how bad this is going to get.
But Kody, I have this because I have boys that are working outside the house, Garrison. I'm trying to be really brave and really smart and really logical. Because I don't know what that's like to not see you for that long.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. Janelle Brown, or the Browns are moving. What? The sister wives are leaving Flagstaff. No. Are they? Maybe. But there is some news on the real estate front, as if the real estate merry-go-round that the Browns have been on for several years since moving to Flagstaff hasn't been annoying enough for fans. It looks like Janelle Brown's house that she's been living in for more than a year is now on the market. And somewhere, Kody Brown is crying in a puddle of tears, freaking out about where he's going to find a house for Janelle.
Let's just go.
Wow,
Where's
we've been
Rob?
ready for an hour.
I feel like the only adult sometimes, you know?
Over the weekend, one of my subscribers let me know that a Facebook page or a Facebook group that talks about the sister wives had shared the real estate information about Janelle's property, and it had recently been placed on the market. The home, which I should note she is not an owner of, it has been a rental for more than a year, and it's got a hefty price tag. So let's talk about what's going on with this property. So according to the listing, which was posted on, I think, Trulia, they are selling the house for $700,000. Yes, $700,000. I'm not even lying. And this is a home with 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2789 square feet. I need to move to Flagstaff, man. Like, I have a house that's like a little bit bigger than theirs, and mine is nowhere near worth $700,000. Or maybe I just need to live here and not have to pay as much. Didn't Kody say that real estate was less expensive in Flagstaff? So wait a minute. They sold their homes in Flagstaff or in Vegas that were over 4,000 square feet, each one of them, for like $400,000 and $500,000. But Janelle's 2,700 square foot home is on the market for $700,000. Methinks that Kody was not being truthful about the prices in Vegas. So anyways, the home, which sits on no acreage, has 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The interesting thing here is that the home is, via the photos, the Browns are not doing a very good job of staging this because it's like a complete and utter disaster. They have stuff all over the cabinets, all over the counters, on the fridge, which when you're staging a home for sale, realtors will tell you to clear out everything. I'm guessing when you have renters while you're trying to sell a home, it makes it that much harder for the people that own the house to sell it. The home is slightly outdated, so that's another thing that I'm like, wait a minute, they're selling this home and it looks like it could really use a makeover. The cabinets and the kitchen look like it hasn't been really updated since the 1990s. And while it's spacious and a 1-story, it just leaves a lot to be desired with oak throughout everything. Oak was kind of hot in the 1990s, late 1990s, early 2000s. 2021, the oak look is not hot in real estate. So it looks like they want to flip this. And my question here is like, how is it that a home that hasn't had any renovations in years worth this much money? Now, my guess is that the owners, being that they were renting out the property, didn't really feel the need to add updates because renters don't really care. I mean, the renter market is quite different than the buyer's market. A buyer is going to be more interested in what's in the house because they're going to be the ones that are responsible that own it. And if they have features that they're not interested in, they're going to have to replace them. A renter doesn't have a choice. So a renter will just see the space and be like, all right, they might not like the aesthetic, but it doesn't matter because they can't do anything about it. So I'm sitting here thinking, going, okay, they're selling this home for $700,000. What is Janelle Brown going to do? Now, Janelle had also been living in a different home. So this is the second home she's lived in Flagstaff. So they rented her first house she rented in Flagstaff, went up and was put up on the market. This is the second home she's lived in, and she'll have to move into her third home in Flagstaff in like 3 years. So this whole idea that the Browns had when they moved to Flagstaff was that they were going to buy this property on Kody Pass, and the property was going to be a way for them to put homes on. There was a lot of acreage. They had a pond. They were going to build kind of like a cul-de-sac, but it was in more of a rural setting than where they were at in Vegas. And the goal was that they were going to get construction going within like the next like year. Well, they've been there since 2018 and no construction has started. Now in the season finale, Christine proposed that they ditch the property at Kody Pass and move to Utah. So my question is, with now Janelle having to move again, what are the Browns going to do? Are they going to go get another rental for Janelle and have to have her move another time? Now, Janelle has the benefit here that she doesn't have a lot of like minor children. She only has one who's Savannah, and I think she's in like 10th or 11th, maybe 12th grade right now. So she doesn't have to deal with like uprooting kids that are really young, but it's just a lot for her older kids. Like, they've had so many houses in the last few years of their life. They lived in Vegas. She moved into that rental that was a little bit more like quaint, as Mary called it. Then they moved into the more spacious Rambler, and now she's gonna have to find yet another home, and I can't imagine what Kody's gonna be doing. Kody was freaking out about how when Robin had to go through this like the year before, they couldn't find any other rentals to meet her needs. Now, Robin was a lot more picky. She wanted to have X amount of bedrooms. She needed the kids to have their own rooms. She also was very particular about what she wanted, and Janelle was like not as picky because she doesn't have young kids and she's only got 3 kids that live with her at home. So she didn't need the kind of space that Robin allegedly needs because she's the favorite. So Kody and Robin ended up buying a house. Do you think that now Janelle is going to end up buying a house? Because how many more times are you going to go on the rental like merry-go-round? That's the problem with renting houses. You don't know how long a house is going to stay as a rental. And especially if the market is high for property, like if the property value has exceeded and is a good time to sell the home, a lot of people that own investment properties will sell the home to get the highest they can for the cost of the home. So if the market is up and it's a seller's market, it would make sense that a lot of people would be selling their rentals because, hey, they can get the house out, they don't have to deal with the liability of renting, and they can make a nice profit. So renters are never in a good position because at any time, the person that's renting the house out to them can basically be like, okay, you guys, we're gonna sell the house, and then you have to deal with it. Now, sometimes what you could see is that someone will buy the house and turn it into a rental, and they might sell it to another person that might rent the house out. So that could mean that they might allow her to stay, but that actually seems really improbable. The housing market there's not a lot of houses on the market that are already not built in Flagstaff and just around the country as a whole, because not as many people have been moving just because of economic issues. So those that are looking to buy houses are willing to pay a higher price. And, that's going to be attractive to someone that's got a house that, they might make a little bit of rental income on, but then they can unload it for a higher price and make a profit. It actually is kind of financially sound decision. So what is the family going to do? Are they going to stay in Flagstaff? Is she going to have to rent another home? Is she going to buy a house? And what's going to happen to this property on Kody Pass? We already know that Christine owns her house. We already know that Robin owns her house. Mary's in a rental. Oh, and that's another thing. Mary's rental that she was living in before is also up for sale again. So Mary's house that she was living in is on the market. Janelle's house that she is living in is on the market. Mary's current house is not for sale. So the house she's renting in is still safe. But Janelle is going to have to find another house. And Kody is going to be screaming somewhere because he's going to be like, we don't have the money for this. Honestly, I don't know why they stay in Flagstaff. I would be hightailing it back to Utah if I were them. But again, they said no about that on the season finale. So are they going to move to Utah? Will Janelle have to buy? And what do you think Kody's response to all of this is? And will this be another cliffhanger for next season? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.